Discovery of orphanages violating rules in Bali, located in these three regencies. And Indonesia needs $6 billion more in budget to fast-track free meals program. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi. Welcome to the latest news from Bali, Indonesia. This is January 19th, 2025, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Well, it is 29.8 degrees Celsius. Humidity is all the way up there at 79%. And the wind speed, and it has been windy here, is already 10.4 kilometers per hour. And I expect it is going to be like yesterday, which was all the way up to 28. Things were blowing around. And it is an overcast day. And are we going to have rain today? Most likely. I hope wherever you are, the weather is a little better than it is here. But at least right now, it is dry. Okay, let's get into the first story about orphanages. And I know a lot of people come here and they want to donate money, especially to places like orphanages. Well, you've got to be careful and make sure that they are authorized, that they're registered with the government. And let's take a look at that. Discovery of orphanages violating rules in Bali, located in these three regencies. The Bali Regional Child Protection Commission, KPAD, explained that granting permits to orphanages must be reconsidered because of violations. Chairperson of KPAD Bali, Nilu Gede Yastini, explained, reflecting on the case of the orphanages in Tambora some time ago, where the orphanage only had a permit to establish a foundation from the Ministry of Law and Human Rights. However, they never had an operational permit from the social services regarding the orphanages. She said, "We found some orphanages that do not have permits, but they accommodate children. Also, in terms of care, it is not proportional to the number of children." What does that mean? Well, for example, 60 children have only 3 caregivers. How can they care for them? Then there are also children who become caregivers for younger children. Some children in the orphanage were picked up from their places of origin and taken to Bali without any certificate from their place of origin. If there's a problem in Bali, of course, this is also a problem for the children. She said, "We conduct supervision by taking samples from 3 child welfare institutions in each regency. After the orphanage has been given guidance, the next step is to ensure that they have a permit, so that later there will be no children who will become victims in the orphanages. The orphanages found to be in violation are located in Denpasar, Tabanan, Buleleng, and Gianyar." So, she said, that's some of the supervision we've done. And the problem in Bali is related to the protection of children. Meanwhile, the head of the Bali Province P3A Social Service confirmed that the total number of orphanages in Bali is 82, spread across all districts and cities. So far, those registered are legal and we provide guidance for services, she explained. That was on Saturday. And so, if you are going to donate to an orphanage, make sure that it is one that is registered with the government and everything is above board. I didn't realize there were so many orphanages in Bali. Wow, 82? And what about the president's big program, the one that he talked about so much on the campaign trail, giving free meals to students and pregnant and nursing women? Well, Indonesia needs $6 billion more in budget to fast-track free meals program. Yes, how the government's going to pay for this is something that has been talked about over and over and over again, and it looks like they need more money. Indonesia needs 100 trillion rupiah, $6.11 billion in additional budget to expand its free nutritious meals program to reach more than a quarter of its population by year end, the head of the agency overseeing the program said on Friday. Dadan Hindayana said President Prabowo is considering ways to reach nearly 83 million of Indonesia's 280 million population by the end of 2025, much earlier than the initial target of 2029, a lot earlier. Financial markets in Indonesia have raised concerns about the cost of the free meals program, the centerpiece of Prabowo's election campaign last year, warning additional debt to fund it could hurt the country's recent hard-won reputation for fiscal prudence. It currently has a budget of 71 trillion rupiah, meant for the distribution of meals for up to 17.5 million recipients, with design for a gradual rollout over several years. The scheme got underway earlier this month for school children and pregnant women, with 570,000 mouths to feed on its opening day. Why is the president restless? Because many children have not got the meals. He's thinking of expediting the process so that by the end of this year, 82.9 million will get the benefit. If his agency gets 100 trillion rupiah in September, such expansion is possible, he said. It was unclear if Prabowo has approved the additional budget. About 5 trillion rupiah of this could be funded by city or provincial governments that manage good fiscal positions, said the Home Affairs Minister. The government's 2025 budget currently has a deficit estimated at 2.53% of gross domestic product, below the legal limit of 3% of GDP. Prabowo's last-minute decision to cancel the value-added tax hike, which I talked about last week, has already presented a challenge for fiscal management. The finance ministry has said it had 45.4 trillion rupiah in excess cash from 2024, and it could use that to plug up some of this year's gap. During campaign rallies, President Prabowo has estimated that the meal program would cost 450 trillion rupiah, 27.5 billion US dollars, when fully implemented. KPAD finds unregistered foreign school in Bali operating inside villa. Yes, more on illegal schools here. Why are they illegal? They're illegal because they're not registered with the government. After conducting supervision in the education sector during 2024, the Bali Regional Child Protection Commission, KPAD, found foreign schools that were not officially registered in Indonesia. This was stated by the chairperson of KPAD on Friday. Furthermore, Yastini hopes that the provincial, Regency, and city education offices will carry out serious supervision of foreign schools in Bali. Regardless of the fact that students are children of foreign citizens, they are in Indonesia. She continued, our obligation is to all children in Indonesia. This is what we found, too. And she said, one school was reported to us, and then we found out that there were 2 more, and they just seem to keep popping up. So we don't know actually how many are there. Besides Badung, where they found these 3 schools, a foreign school was also found in Ubud in the form of a new villa. And on the front wall of the villa, it said International School. It was later discovered that the students were foreign nationals. This international school is often referred to as a cultural house. This is interesting, she said. After we report it to Satpol PP, maybe they will visit. The name will be changed, but this activity will still be there. This is without supervision. This is what must be the focus in the future, especially for the agencies that are given the authority to carry out actual coaching, she concluded. And trying to start a school here in Indonesia, well, it's full of bureaucracy. I've gone through this several times. And so a lot of these schools just popping up, people think, okay, I can just start our own school. If you're here and you're advertising as a school, there's a good chance you're going to be reported by somebody, and then you're going to have some problems. So, okay, and more people driving around picking up foreign tourists illegally, right? We talked about this, the Indian guy who was busted at the airport, and now there is a Bangladeshi national caught picking up foreign tourists in Sanur. Immigration hunts. Why is immigration hunting? Because they haven't found him yet. A foreigner was caught red-handed while picking up 2 foreign tourist guests at Sanur Harbor. The incident was recorded in a video that went viral on social media. It has been monitored, said a Denpasar immigration intelligence officer who refused to be named when contacted by the Bali on Friday. In the video circulating, the foreigner is seen being interrogated by someone. The foreigner, who reportedly came from Bangladesh, was asked questions in English and admitted to being married to an Indonesian citizen. I got married here with an Indonesian, said the man. So I guess he figured if he's married to an Indonesian, he can do what he wants. He can work. And unfortunately, that's not true. It's been monitored, but we haven't found the foreigner yet, said the officer. So they're still looking around for him. And this is what happens when you get these reports that go viral. Well, immigration or whatever agency gets on the ball and starts to do something, and, well, they got to catch up. And what about Sumbawa, where I lived for 6 years? Mount Tambora. Mount Tambora, love it. Reopens to tourists, but climbing still closed. Mount Tambora National Park, West Nusa Tenggara, has finally reopened for tourist activities since it was closed on Thursday, the 2nd of January. However, the only tourist attractions that are open are the waterfall and the deer sanctuary, while hiking trails are still closed. Head of the Tambora Center, Denny Rahadi, said the decision to reopen the national park was made after conducting a 3-day field evaluation on climbing and non-climbing routes. According to the results of the field evaluation, starting January 18th, non-climbing tourist attractions such as the waterfall and the deer sanctuary in Tambora National Park will be open for tourist activities. Then he said the reason for the unopened climbing activity was due to weather conditions at the peak of Mount Tambora, which are still not conducive. Namely, storms are still occurring due to moderate and high-intensity rain. And I've been over there. You don't want to be climbing up there in heavy rain. But, wow. Sumbawa is a great place to visit. Get out of Bali. Go to Sumbawa. A lot of stuff to do there. The results of field identification on the Pancasila climbing route, which has an altitude of 500 meters above sea level, shows that rain intensity is still high. But Denny emphasized that tourists who visit must remain vigilant and prioritize safety while traveling in Tambora National Park. Every tourist is urged to maintain the sustainability of tourist attractions by bringing back trash. Don't leave it there. And one final story, and I saw the video on this the other day on Instagram, and I thought this is going to be something that's going to go really viral. And it did viral. Lovers kiss while riding Ojol. Online motorcycle taxi Ojol driver Inyoman Sukarma, who went viral on social media for carrying 2 foreign passengers kissing while the motorbike was moving, was ticketed by the Denpasar Police Traffic Unit. The driver was ticketed, and in addition, he apologized openly to the public through social media. His apology was also posted on the Denpasar Police Traffic Unit IG account. If you watch IG or you watch TikTok, you see passengers, foreign passengers and local passengers driving around all the time on the back of these bikes, and none of them are wearing helmets. Well, not none of them, but many are not wearing helmets. And a lot of them doing the selfie thing, no helmet on their head in the back. And I saw the other day one where the driver didn't have a helmet either. Boy, they were having a good time, the driver and his foreign guest. Well, according to the police, you got to wear a helmet. The 2 passengers who were suspected to be a couple were not wearing helmets. The violation was allowed by Sukarma, who was transporting both of them. And why were both of them on the bike? The intimate act of the 2 foreign passengers was recorded by residents and posted on social media. The pornographic post immediately went viral and spread to various social media channels. The indecent and imitative act of the couple was apparently monitored by the Denpasar Police Traffic Unit. The motorcycle taxi driver was hunted down to be given legal action. Denpasar Police Traffic Unit Chief confirmed the action taken against the driver. The driver was prosecuted for carrying more than 1 passenger and not wearing a helmet. You gotta know these days, everybody has a phone and they're always looking for weird things to put on Instagram or on TikTok. And so if you're gonna do something that you know is illegal, well, you might not wanna do it in public. And no mention here about the police looking for the foreigners and giving them a ticket for driving around without helmets and for their indecent act. Okay, that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care, and I will see you next time. Tuesday is my plan. Be safe.